and welcome to episode 533 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for August 8th, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's been going on, Dominic?
All right, man. So wait a minute. Why? Oh, I see what happened. My speaker was on. I was wondering why I was seeing your voice on my Audacity, and I was like, my speaker is right next to my mic, and I had it on by accident. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. All right, all right. So, what's going on this week? It's been a sad day in Oriole camp, or a happy day for some people. I mean, it all depends how you look at it. Look, for me, I get it. Like, there was a trade deadline that happened. We got rid of some players. We traded players, I should say, and the big one was of course Adley Rutschman, who is he was a key component of this new era of Orioles baseball. Like, he was the face of the new rebuild. He was like the first guy to come up. Everybody was talking about him even before he was coming up. Like the season when he wasn't even up yet. I remember watching Orioles baseball, and they're talking about, hey, Adley Rutschman could be coming up this year. And he did well. Like his first 2 years, he was up here. Like they had like a winning record. And like he had a great face. You know, he was a great guy. He was an all-star. He did something great at the home run derby, even though he didn't win the round, but he was like the first person to do like switch hitting at the home run derby. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if the rules were like the new rules, he would have made it to the second round, but it was still the rules of like versus you were playing against someone, two players going against each other instead of just going by the totals of the whole round. But either way, yeah, I mean, he was an alright guy. Now his play, especially at bats, has regressed after some injuries and but his bat has regressed, and I don't think it's because of injuries though. I mean, it was still like it's regressing before, but he had his moments where he was hot though, but it wasn't. His overall totals weren't like super great, but they were fine. And now I don't know if he was going to sign with us after next year, because we still have control. We still had control of him till next year, whole 2027. I don't know if he wasn't going to sign, so it was like we had to trade him anyway. Maybe he wasn't, and we had to trade him. It's just the situation. It's more like I'm not upset they traded him. Like they shouldn't have traded him. It's more just a situation that I wish it was so much better. I wish he was a better hitter, or that he wanted to stay. I wish it was more, but hey, it is what it is. It's just that this whole situation just seems bad. Like we were supposed to look a whole lot better than what we are now, and it just didn't work out. It didn't work out that way, and it sucks. And who do you blame? I mean, I guess the most consistent guy to blame is Elias, which a lot of people do, which including me, myself. But even I take a step back to think, like, well, I mean, Elias picked guys that the whole league wanted. I mean, the whole league thought these guys. I mean, the prospect stuff is not something you make up, but the team makes up. It's a league thing. I don't know who they get to do it, but everybody sees these guys better. So. And a lot of these guys, the top guys, Gunnar Henderson, Kauser, Westberg, and them, they started out great, and they had great years. Even Mountcastle, he was like kind of actually before these guys, but it looked like he was going to probably be something. But it seemed like they all regressed, and we don't know, like, what is it? Is it like our strength and conditioning guys are bad because some of these guys get injured? Is it like our coaching, like the specific coaching, like batting coaching or whatever? What is causing this to happen? Or is it just dumb bad luck on our part? But I mean, I've seen people who we picked up in the offseason, Taylor Ward, who we got up this offseason, we ended up trading him. We only had him for half a year. But he's not doing what we thought he was going to do. He's a little worse. Now, his on-base percentage went up. It seemed like he hits on base, but we got him to hit home runs and get RBIs. Tyler O'Neill was a guy who gets RBIs and home runs. He had regressed. So it's like, wait a minute, why are people coming here regressing? Is it us? Is it the team that's causing this? I don't know. But yeah, losing Adams is big. We did get a big haul for him, which some people think Red Sox even pretty much overpaid for us. Like they give us probably too much because we got some good prospects. But at the end of the day, they're still prospects. Like for a fan, like a fan who just watches the game, like which where I'm at. Like I'm not too deep into it like that anymore because I just want to see us win. Like I've been watching this team for so long. It's like, dude, I want to see this win. Like the whole idea of prospects, I already heard this before. I went through this. I'm past that. I want guys to play. So you tell me these prospects are great. Well, you told me these guys were great too. So I guess it's like they're still just prospects. I don't know how they're going to turn out. I hope they turn out great, but they're not playing on the field now. So I don't know. We were only like a game and a half out, like 2 games out, like between the trade deadline or so. Like we were still in it, and technically we're still in it now. We have won the first 2 games against the Angels. Angels are a bad team. We won 2 games against them, but we lost the last game against them, which we shouldn't have. That didn't make sense. Our bats are still bad. Like our bats, we just not hitting. That's the thing. It's like it doesn't make sense. That wasn't a problem. We knew our defense was going to be great. We figured our pitching wasn't going to be that great either. That was going to be our Achilles heel. That we was going to okay, we gotta just probably out hit people and just put some points up. Runs up. No, our pitching's been pretty damn good. Like our pitching's been better than what we thought. And I'm impressed how good our pitching is. Like our pitching is good enough to get to the playoffs if our bats were there, and it's not, and that sucks. Us getting rid of Tyler Wells, our bullpen. He's like one of our best bullpen guys. Like Cano and Tyler Wells are our best guys, and we traded him, which I don't understand because we still had control over him. Like it's like okay, yeah, we're not going to the playoffs this year, but we can still use him for next year and other years. But I don't know what we got back from him. I mean, maybe they felt that was worth it. Some fans don't feel like it, but some other baseball experts, some of them don't feel like it was worth it. But it just sucks as an O's fan. Like 2 years ago, we really saw like we were going somewhere. Then like the second half of 24, we were like it just went downhill from there. Like we made the playoffs, but we got swept in the playoffs. But like you saw the regression there. Like we were doing really good that first half of the year. Then you saw the regression, but because we were so good that we still made the playoffs, and then it just went down from there. And I can say Elias has tried. He got us. He tried to do some pitching and stuff. Like it wasn't like no ace or nothing, but you saw him get guys. We got Pete Alonso, who's doing great on our team. Like he's a high paid guy, and he does what we want him to do. I mean, it's not enough, but yeah. Also, Dodgers got better. I mean, they got Terrence Scribble. Right now, Dodgers are looking bad. Now, I don't know if they won last night to stop their losing streak. But I'm not falling for it because they went on a losing streak last year. They had a little like a bad August or something around the time. So I'm not falling for it. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, so what? Dodgers losing. Yeah, they lost yesterday too. So Dodgers have lost, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exactly 7 games. Just like last year. In a row. And that's the talk. It's like, what's wrong with the Dodgers? The Dodgers are losing. Say, hey, everybody thought this trade was going to do something. And I'm like, well, they're still in first place in the division. I mean, Diamondbacks, this is good for Diamondbacks because they got a chance to get some games against them, but I don't know if they'll catch up to them. But Dodgers going to the playoffs. And once they get in, I think that's just it. And look, the whole thing is that you pay these guys, you got the money to get these guys to get to the playoffs. I mean, you want to win a World Series, yes. But you got a chance. Your chances are definitely higher than everybody else's. And it's the playoffs. And because of their TV deal thing, they're able to do that, and give it to them. They do already have a good farm system, so they can actually trade players and then get good players and then and pay them a lot. So players will want to stay there. It sucks. And people are calling. They saying like this lockout's going to happen. Some people think it's a conspiracy that Detroit gave them Terrence Scribble, the pitcher, because the owners want a lockout, and so not a lockout, they want a salary cap. So they want the fans to be angry, saying like, "Hey, this isn't fair." So they can do a salary cap, and then that's good for the owners because they don't have to. They have a limit on how much they spend on players, so they can pocket even more money. And I mean, I want things to be competitive. The whole thing is that the reason why it's not really competitive, I mean, for multiple reasons, but the reason why Dodgers are really ahead of the game is because of some. They had gone bankrupt. I remember that they gone bankrupt because of the previous owner and everything. I remember like something like the owner, his wife lawsuit, divorce shit, and then she died. And they went back and like it was crazy. So new owners came in, but then baseball was trying to help them out by not like taxing them, I guess, or something about the TV deal or something, and they were able to pocket like billions of dollars because of that, more than what anybody else could ever do. So they got that, and then they also got like, I mean, they use their money really to really promote themselves and to get really be like back pretty good financially. And thing is, that deal goes through to like 2030, I think. It's some deal with that. That it's like they don't need that now, and it's like, darn, I wish there was a better stipulation on that, saying like, hey man, y'all back in the green, y'all good now. Like you don't need help. But yeah, it sucks. It's funny. It's like now you're at the point where like, oh man, there's a gap between billionaires now. It's like big billionaires and little billionaires, and like this isn't fair. But yeah, you just want, and then people say, hey, y'all could just spend money to do this. It's like, no, but Dodgers can do it without risk. Like, if they get it wrong, they can risk that money and risk or get rid of certain people, while other teams can't afford take that risk as much. I don't know how you fix it. I mean, fix it without so that the owners don't get it. I mean, I know some people spoke of like not a ceiling, but a floor, like you have to spend this much money
right
on your team. I have no idea, man. I mean, to me, I think the sport is already corrupted. I think to be sports in general. I think it's gotten, even before gambling, I think it was getting there, and gambling just pretty much is just like icing on it's just like more toppings on the cake, really, or whatever you want to say, whatever metaphor you want to use. It's like the sports are messed up with this stuff, man, that I don't know. And because we're at a point where everything, like, you're paying these guys astronomical contracts. And I mean, yeah, and the owners are making money. But thing is, everything is getting higher. And, like, you can't just keep going up. Because, like, you can talk about inflation, but stuff doesn't go up equally, high. Like, where do you get to a point? Like, how much are these players getting paid, and how much money can these leagues make? It's got to be a point where it's like, you can't make but so much. You can't go any higher than this. And so that's the thing. It's like, I don't know how you fix that, and because that's not how capitalism works in that way. It just works to keep going up and up and up. But, like, I guess I don't know. What capitalism just thinks like, hey, everything works out. Like, you can keep going up, making money because everything seems to balances out where you can keep going up. Like, I don't know. Like, the end.
It has to,
like,
Dominic. It doesn't matter if it can or not. It has to.
Aaron, you got real loud all of a sudden. I don't. Well, damn,
sorry.
Man. Let me turn this down. Yeah. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, that's that. I know football. The Washington team, the Commanders, they got Stephon Diggs, a receiver, a pretty good receiver. He was on the New England last year. Stephon Diggs has been around the league. not a ton of teams, but he started out like in Minnesota. He was really great with them for years. Then went to other teams, and he's been good. He's been good everywhere he went. Like the only problem with Stephon Diggs is like off the field stuff, and that's which he did take care of. One thing, I think it was something about him abusing a cook or something, but that's been thrown out. I want to say that case has been thrown out, but it's also like maybe it's infidelity, but he gets around a lot. That's what it seems like. he gets around a lot. Right now he's with Cardi B. But other than that, like I've never seen anything on the field problem, so I'm all good. Like I'm like, hey, yeah, that's cool. He's from Maryland. He's from the Maryland area. He went to Maryland, so like, yeah, cool. He's got a homegrown guy here, so hopefully that works out for us in football. Hopefully football season comes up better than what the baseball season is for me, man. But like the last 2 years, I mean, it's been pretty bad because it's funny. It's funny how both seasons they came off like decent years, playoff years, and then they just did totally bad. Like baseball didn't even make the playoffs last year, might not make the playoffs this year, and then football, man, went to the NFC Championship game. They didn't even make the playoffs, man. We were like one of the worst teams in record-wise, and I'm like, man, I don't want to do this. I want to be consistent. I just want to win. I just want to be like consistently have a good team. Like I don't want to have to worry about, oh man, are we going to suck? Like I don't want that to be the thing. It's my other football news. I know they had a preseason game, a Hall of Fame game. I didn't really pay attention much to it. I think I just saw like Carolina won it. I forgot who they didn't even play against. I know Aaron Rodgers is talk about Fauci. You know, like that's what people want to. That's what people want to hear when they go on like McEnroe. When you go to ESPN on McEnroe and you don't want to talk football. You want to talk about Fauci, man. That's what people want to see. And like that's what he was saying. He was like how Fauci. At least he Fauci up there not answering questions and stuff like that. So what you got to be afraid of? It's like I was like, man,
crooked politicians trying to put him in jail. What do you think he's afraid of?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, like Aaron Rodgers. It's just like what? It's so funny how like it's such a turnaround for me. It's like wow, I mean, just on quarterback play, I was like up there with this dude. Like he's the best. Like Tom Brady was just lucky he got with the team he got. But Aaron Rodgers is actually the best quarterback. Him and Peyton Manning. I always thought Peyton Manning was like better too than Aaron Rodgers. But I thought Aaron Rodgers, like Aaron Rodgers is better than both of them. He just don't have the team. He's in Green Bay. And like someone said, if he was in a dome team, he would kill. If this team was like a dome, he would be awesome. But anyway, because I always find it funny when people say like, well, he should be used to it. He plays for Green Bay. These people aren't from the place. Like I never got that. Like the people say Brett Favre, he played great in Green Bay because they're used to the cold. Brett Favre's from Alabama. Now it worked out for him. Brett Favre was able to be good in that weather. I mean, to do better he did better. Put it like this, he did better than the other guys who he went against in that weather, I should say. And it worked out, but it wasn't because he's from Green Bay. It's just that he's just good. He just played good in that. It worked out for him, but it's not because he's from Alabama. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, yeah. It's just funny how Aaron Rodgers now, like the whole attitude, like his thing with like the politics and the COVID stuff. Like, look, I don't like people being forced to put stuff in their body, stuff. I don't like that. I mean, it's the rule that they give, but I can understand it from that point. But you go to the crazy stuff, and then you talk to Joe Rogan trying to say, like, look, man, I understand, like, the medicine and stuff. I talked to Joe Rogan. I was like, oh, my God, don't whatever, dude. And, like, it's like, and you're all good with that crazy guy, the crazy Kennedy. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, I can't take you seriously. It's like, you talk like you know stuff. I was like, yo, dude, you play football most of the time. Like, how much do you know? I'm sorry. I'm biased to that. Like, am I trying to say, like, oh, he can't know nothing because he plays football? I'm just saying he focuses listen, like it takes a lot to play football, and he's a quarterback. I'm just saying that I don't think he's like freaking got so much knowledge that he knows these other stuff. To me, he sounds like the same dudes I hear on the internet. So you tell me,
who have also dedicated themselves to the research, Dominic. How dare you?
But yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's that. Anything else? Basketball news. Already talked about. I mean, nothing really. I mean, like I'm just gonna watch the NBA. Oh well, I know WNBA. I know the Mystics played a good game. They came back. They were down like by 20. I guess the Wings, Dallas Wings. But this is like post now. They're like kind of leading up to the playoffs now, because this is post All-Star game. But yeah, that's it for me for sports. So what happened with SummerSlam, man?
SummerSlam was okay, mostly. I came into it relatively excited because it's still one of the big pay-per-views, even though I haven't really been like watching the weekly programming and all of the stuff that I'm seeing around WWE right now is not particularly great or well done. But I was still kind of excited about the pay-per-view, and I was mostly disappointed. Night one, I don't know what they are doing here. It always seems like the night ones of these shows, now that they're moving to this model with these bigger pay-per-views, are kind of like their cool off nights, and then they're like, okay, we'll bring the energy down a little bit, so night two we can pop off a little more. So really, like night one, it was Gunther versus Nick Aldis was a big match just because this is Nick Aldis' first match in WWE. He's been the SmackDown general manager for a very long time now, and basically beefing with several, bad guys, most notably recently Gunther. Gunther did end up defeating him, but he's gotten his job back as SmackDown general manager after he was going to put in his resignation with Triple H. Triple H is like, no.
Oh, darn, you just cut out right there.
Am I for a minute. Gone?
I wonder if it's still recorded on Discord. Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like if you don't hear me, then maybe Craig doesn't hear me either, but like the local file would have me on there. I don't know. I'll check it out when I put it together. But basically Nick Aldis, he lost. He tapped out to Gunther. There's basically been talk like that might be his last match, but he's younger than me, Dominic. This is a dude that looks older than me by about 6 years, maybe. He's like an Arn Anderson type guy. Like he's perpetually looked like he was like 48 years old. But he's younger than most of the guys.
Let me interrupt real quick. Just in case, like you hear maybe some blowing, it's my fan. I apologize. Okay. I just have to have it on me. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, but he's younger than most of the guys in the main event these days. When you're talking CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, people like that. Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk. Neither of those guys are really doing much for me. I didn't really care about the results of this. Not quite sure where they were going to go out of it, to be honest with you. I figured they would probably have Punk retain, and then I didn't know who he was going to go up against. But that problem was solved on night two. And then Obafemi defeated Brock Lesnar in the Hell in a Cell. That match was maybe like 10 minutes long. 11:40 here, according to Wikipedia. That was an all right match. It was probably, I guess, the best match of the night, the most entertaining match of the night. They didn't really do much as far as like utilizing the cage, but the ending of it was basically Brock Lesnar was kind of doing callbacks to his Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker. He tombstone pile drived Obafemi on the wood planks. The mat got ripped up, and he dropped him on his head on the planks. That's got to be rough on the knees, also. But Obafemi basically got right back up, hit his finish on Brock Lesnar, not on the wood planks, noticeably. I don't know if that was like Brock Lesnar saying like, no way, I'm not taking that bump, because that would have to be fucking killer. Like even on the knees, but like getting dropped from a power bomb, that's Obafemi's finish. Getting dropped on your back and on the back of your head on just straight on the wood planks, even though that the mat's not like that much thicker, but there is at least a little bit of cushioning there. And then at the end, Brock Lesnar was leaving. Obafemi was celebrating. Brock Lesnar gets back in the ring, gives him a hug, basically tells the entire audience, this guy's the future. I'm the past. This guy's the future. I'm kind of done here. And I do believe he's gone on Pat McAfee's show now and said as much that he is officially retired.
Yeah, I did see that.
What that actually means, I mean, it's wrestling at the end of the day, right? Like Saudi Arabia comes along and offers him, $10 million for one 5-minute match or whatever. Like, are you really going to turn that down? I don't know. But we'll see. I mean, I could definitely see Brock Lesnar being a guy that just fucks off into the woods and hunts for the rest of his life and, does whatever his hobbies are.
How about his daughter? I know his daughter was doing like college wrestling or something.
Yeah, I was going to say she's at least college age now. So I think she's getting up there. I would not be surprised to see her signed to one of their ID program things or whatever they're calling their like college recruitment efforts nowadays. So I would not at all be surprised by that. And if she starts making the family money, then he doesn't need to keep coming back. So. And then on night two actually opened with what was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn for the number one contendership for the undisputed WWE title. That's the SmackDown title that CM Punk is currently holding. But Nick Aldis came out, added Gunther to the match. I guess basically is like a make good / sign of respect. Like, okay, I'm not gonna weigh the favors against you, weigh the odds against you anymore. You defeated me. I'm going to give you this opportunity. But he also made it a fatal 4-way and added Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is returning from serious neck surgery. There was a pretty long amount of time. I mean, I think this was relatively a surprise. I did see some rumors that he was in town, I think on like Thursday or Friday, I started seeing that stuff. But I wasn't sure that meant anything because it seemed like he was dealing with some serious stuff and like to the point where he might not actually be able to wrestle again. So it was awesome seeing him back, and he actually won this match. So it's going to be him versus CM Punk. And that should be exciting. There's also some like real life beef a little bit between those two because Kevin Owens is friends with the Young Bucks and kind of the AEW tribe of people that CM Punk very much did not get along with when he was with that company. Obviously, I think both of them are professionals. CM Punk is seemingly grown up a bit since getting back to the WWE as well. I think the issue with CM
grow up like these guys weren't like full grown adults.
Well, matured, I guess. Yeah, I mean that's the problem. He wasn't acting like one, and I think part of that problem is he saw AEW as the little leagues, like he saw it beneath him, and that's why I think he shows the company more respect at WWE because that's where he believes like he belongs, right? Like he's top dog. He deserves to be at the top company. Whereas, he probably just came back to AEW because Tony Khan was, backing the money truck up to him. So after that, Baron Corbin.
How about AJ Lee? What's AJ Lee doing?
She is stepped back out of the wrestling world. It seems like. Again. What's that?
Because I thought she was doing a wrestling match in
She was,
WWE.
yeah. She
Okay.
had about a year long stint there, and then she's gonna take a step back. It sounds like it's not necessarily a permanent thing. Like she might come back occasionally, but right now it seems like she's kind of checked back out at WWE for now. Um, Baron Corbin, who was recently returned, defeated Trick Williams for the United States Championship. Baron Corbin had gotten fired. He was working with MLW for a while there. They brought him back in. We'll see what they do with him this time. I mean, Baron Corbin's a guy that has the size. He has a kind of intimidating look. But they just never really did anything of value with him when he was with the company. So it's hard to trust that this isn't anything more than a like kind of a make good for like, oh, come back to the company, we'll give you a title, and then you'll end up in catering in a couple of months. There was a women's 5-way ladder match for the WWE Women's Championship, which Chelsea Green actually won. That was pretty awesome. This is maybe not the best match of the night, but it was up there, I would say. She defeated Charlotte, Jade, Lash Legend, Tiffany Stratton. I was glad to see her win. I don't know that anybody else in here I was looking to really see get that. And they're doing this thing because Rhea Ripley is injured right now. They're doing an interim title, so technically this is the interim title. I don't necessarily love that. It's so weird when they pick and choose like when they feel the need to strip someone of the title and when they're going to do this. They haven't really done the interim thing very often. But it almost feels like, especially with Chelsea winning, Chelsea is mostly a comedic character. It kind of feels like a way to like have her win the title without actually winning a title. Like I don't know, unless she actually beats Rhea Ripley when she comes back. I don't know that her reign actually like gets logged in the history books, basically. So I wonder if that's kind of how that goes. Danhausen beat Dominic Mysterio in a human money's on the pole match. That's not worth talking about. Chad Gable beat Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Like, this was a night of just like every title changing hands, basically. All the quote unquote like kind of good guys or fan favorites winning, although Baron Corbin is not really. But he is a guy that is newly returning, so it feels like he should, get a big win here. Chad Gable coming off the Americano, El Grande Americano stuff, where he got defeated by the new El Grande Americano in Mexico, and then having to demask.
Man, what the hell?
What's that?
It sound like a coffee. It was like
the Americanos. Yeah, so he was doing basically his best work in Mexico. They brought him back as Chad Gable now without the mask. He's doing okay, but like he's not getting over in the same way that he was with this whole mask situation in Mexico. They haven't quite figured out how to utilize him, but he did get the title. That's exciting. He's a guy that has been relatively underused. At a certain point, they gave him the gimmick of Shorty G because he is a relatively short guy compared to the other people in WWE, but he's a former Olympian, jacked to the gills. Like it's kind of absurd to make the whole joke about him that he's, underheighted. And then the last match of the night, Roman Reigns beat Seth Rollins. This was basically Roman Reigns kind of absolving himself of all Seth Rollins' sins in regard to the Shield and the way that broke up and Seth Rollins turning on the guys. it felt like it was missing a little bit of something, not having Dean Ambrose / John Moxley there. Him being basically AEW's ace at this point. But it was still a fine match. Those two are very good wrestlers, and they gave them more than enough time to basically do their thing. So that was a fun match. That's kind of where we are with WWE. Occasionally you get some good stuff, and hopefully coming out of this we'll get a lot more. Tatum Paxley from NXT came up on SmackDown last night, but the women's division on SmackDown right now is not necessarily in a good state, despite the fact that I like the idea that Chelsea Green won that title, but they aren't really doing much with any of them. They've got Julia, who is an incredible wrestler, and she basically got knocked out of the qualifications for this ladder match in a 2-minute squash match to Lash Legend. Like they are making no use of her. I did not mention the Liv Morgan and Io Sky match, because that kicked off night 1, and by the time I turned the show on, it was already past. I didn't even realize that it had opened the show. And it sounds like that was it's fine, but Liv Morgan won. And this is like the first time she's defended her title in 100 days or something. Basically since winning the title. And it's just what are we doing here? And that's actually Raw too. So
you think it should have been
exclusive.
It should have been a lead off? It should have been.
Well, I don't necessarily want to say that. It was probably more my fault for not really paying attention to when the show started. It started at 6:00, and I was thinking that was the pre-show stuff, but it started at 6:00 and ended by 9 both nights. Well, a little after 9 the second night, I think. Which I greatly appreciate. I would much rather have them start relatively early in the afternoon and be done at a reasonable hour, so I'm not trying to stay up too late. But it's just, Io Sky is such a great wrestler. Liv Morgan can be good when given the opportunity, and it just doesn't feel like WWE is really giving people the opportunity right now. And it's not just Liv Morgan. It's not just the women. It's most of the card up and down that they just don't seem like they have the motivation to get some proper stories going. They just don't really know what to do with anybody. And as long as they're still making money, they seem content with that. Now, SummerSlam's ticket sales are allegedly pretty bad, to the point where typically they announce, it was a sellout and we sold, attendances, blah, blah, blah during the show. They did not do any of that. So hopefully that's maybe a kick in the pants to them. Also, Stephanie Vecchia returned on Raw, so I'm hoping that this is basically the fall version of the night after WrestleMania, where you get all these big debuts or returns and stuff like that. Randy Orton is also back. Randy Orton actually cost Cody Rhodes the match against CM Punk. So I'm hoping with these people returning, with Kevin Owens being back, that maybe they get some momentum going into, the fall and the winter and the later seasons here. But just for a while now, it's been a bit stagnant. Admittedly, when AEW has kind of been running in all cylinders, they've been doing a really good job by keeping things moving, keeping kind of you have your people who are kind of main characters right now, your Will Ospreay and your John Moxleys and stuff like that. But they've been doing a relatively good job of kind of moving people around the top of the card. You have your Kevin Knights right now. You have your Darby Allin with his month-long title reign. You now have Hangman Adam Page back, and you can consider it the top of the card because it's him, even though he's not necessarily challenging for the top title. But like he's bringing up guys like Brody King and Bandito with him because they're going after like the trios titles now and stuff like that. So I think it's interesting that these companies don't seem to have the ability to like be great at the same time. It's always like, okay, well, one of these guys is hitting a little better. Like AEW had its downtime. Not necessarily last year, but about a year and a half ago, I want to say, somewhere around there. And it was right around the time that like Triple H was actually like pulling stuff together, making more coherent stories and stuff like that. And now here we are, you know, with WWE just not really being the attraction that it used to be for me anymore. And even on these bigger shows, where it used to be like, okay, you get to the pay-per-views and it's basically matches and video packages. And now it's just like matches and commercials, is something that you never really had before. And it's like, nothing's really changed. You're still having to pay for these things. Now, instead of paying like $60 a month, you're paying like $20 a month for your Netflix or whatever. Or rather, actually, no, because in the States, you have to pay for ESPN Plus or whatever. And I think that's like $20 or maybe even more. Especially when you get it like bundled with Disney Plus or however you get it. I admittedly am using Netflix with a VPN for these shows. But you know, you're still paying a significant amount of money to watch this stuff, whether you're also getting like other content out of it or not. But if I'm just a WWE fan and I'm subscribing to whatever these services are for those shows, and now I'm having to like sit through commercials and I don't even get the video packages, which used to be kind of a big deal. Like WWE, if there was ever one thing they were really good at, it was, you know, grabbing the highlights from a feud, put some like butt kicking rock music behind it or whatever, and packaging it up in a clear and concise way as to why we got to this match. And I know to some extent that's stuff that they're using on like the pre-shows. And I'm sure if I went on like YouTube, they have them there. But to make that not part of the program anymore and to just have more and more commercials, it kind of ruins everything. You know, just like with everything gets more expensive and you get less of it nowadays. And that's what it feels like with WWE right now. And, you know, I've complained about it before, but the ticket prices are just absolutely insane. They were doing, I think it's past now, but they were doing a house show at George Mason University, which I recently went to see an AEW show, and I paid, I don't know, like $50-$60 for decent seats. And I'm looking at WWE tickets because I'm curious. And it's like $120 for nosebleeds. It's just absurd. It's a house show. It's not even anything that's making it on TV or anything, which admittedly, like, house shows can be more fun than that stuff because you're not sitting through all the commercial breaks and all that kind of stuff that the crowd at home or the crowd in the stadium has to do while the people at home are, you know, getting up and getting food or whatever. But yeah, it's just, it's absolutely absurd that we're here now. And it just feels like WWE is trying to gouge the people that were most loyal to them, you know?
Yeah, man, that's disappointing, man. So I guess we'll get into what we were watching. So I have watched the latest X-Men. It's pretty good. I don't know how many X-Men there are. Like, I still have not checked. So I don't know if it's going to be more than, it's going to be the same amount as last year. I'm going to say it was was it 10 last year? Or well, not last year, but the last time it was on episodes. But yeah, so let me see, X-Men '97.
Yeah, season 1 was 10. It looks like season 2 is going to be 9 episodes.
9 episodes. Oh man. So yeah, well, I guess we're getting there. So yeah. And what else have I watched? I watched the Demon Slayer movie of Infinity Castle, the part 1. It is available on Crunchyroll and other. I think it's on demand, other places. But I finally watched it, and it was good, man. It was the animation is incredible. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's a movie you can just jump in. I think you have to watch the series, or unless you just want to see good animation. I mean, unless you want to see good, good fighting animation stuff. I mean, you can get the gist of what's going on. Like, like I guess if you just start watching it, you realize, like, okay, yeah, these are the bad guys, and they tell their little backstory or something like that of what's going on, and you go there. But you won't come out. I can't see somebody come and just watching it saying like a great movie, like a normal movie, because you realize, like, oh, this is a continuation of something that has happened. And yeah, man, they did a good job with that. I mean, like, as far as like the animation, the fighting, incorporating the backstories of characters in there. And it just sucks that you have to wait till next year to watch the second one, then the third one in 2029, I believe. So we'll see there. We'll see if the world doesn't end before that happens. So yeah, but that's basically it. I mean, I did sort of watch House of Dragon. I didn't watch it like I had it on while I was on live, but I wasn't really looking all the way through it. But I did see some key stuff that did happen during it, but I don't want to talk about it until you've seen anything of it. I didn't watch any more King of the Hill since we talked about. And did you watch the last episode that I gave you?
I watched, I think it was 2 that I didn't watch before we talked about it last week. It was the marriage counseling one, and then the one with Khan's moving out, I think.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't see that one yet. So we'll talk about more of that next week, and then I'll give you some more episodes. So what have you been watching?
I've been catching up on Spider Noir. You reminded me that I really need to get back around to that. Amazon is always one of those like elusive video streaming platforms for me. It's never front of mind.
Especially now with commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling you though, like when I'm watching on my PC, I don't experience as many. Like I get them at the front, but I don't think I really get them throughout the show. Whereas like when I pulled it up in the Prime app on my phone, like I was constantly getting to the point where I probably would like not watch the stuff. It's too much, and I'm not going to give them more money to get the ad-free version. Like Prime Video has always been one of those things that has been, a bonus to the fact that I'm buying stuff from Amazon. But now that I'm not even necessarily buying stuff as often from them, it does start to make me wonder if I need to like look more into like whether having this service at all is useful to me. But yeah, I'm into the 4th episode, maybe only about a quarter.
You didn't get the Temu. Is there a Temu like video?
Oh, don't give them ideas, Dominic. don't give them ideas. I'm sure there probably actually is something like that. Yeah, it's just called Tubi, Dominic.
Tubi. Okay.
But yeah, so Spider Noir, I like it a lot as far as like the noir aspects of it, the kind of like gritty detective who's got, this kind of sidekick, what would you call her? Receptionist. She kind of brings a little bit of comedic and a little bit of also just like straightening him up, right? Because like he's got to get put in his place.
Secretaries back then. You can call them secretaries back then.
Oh, okay. No,
It was
they're
appropriate.
administrative
Yes,
assistants.
I was joking.
Um,
Yes.
But I think she's good. The guy from New Girl as kind of like not quite his partner, but I guess his friend who is a journalist
Yeah.
as well. I like him a lot. And I think despite the fact that you kind of like you look at it and you go, oh man, they've got a lot of the villains like the rogues gallery kind of here. None of that is like overpowering of the story so far. And
No.
it seems like
No, it's
they're
not.
telling kind of one coherent story. You know, this season's going to be like an encapsulated story. It's not like an episode kind of thing. The episodes, I don't know that they feel a little long, but knowing that they're about 40 minutes each, it does make it hard. Like I thought I would get further through this season. Like I thought I might be done this season before getting back to the podcast. But I didn't quite make it that far. I think there's 8 episodes, so hopefully by next week. But everything that's going on, I like a lot. I was telling you that I thought it was a little weird when he puts the mask on. It's obviously being like overdubbed, and not just because it doesn't sound like muffled, because obviously he's got this kind of like thick looking mask on. But it just like the audio quality is like completely different. And that also feels like when Nick Cage is going a little more extra Nick Cage. You know, he's being plenty Nick Cage when he's Ben Reilly as just the detective. But nothing crazy, I would say. You know, he's not being as over the top as like one might expect when you say, hey, Nick Cage is being Spider-Man in this Amazon, you know, straight to video thing. I think it's being well performed. I think everybody in it. I like the Cat Hardy stuff. They're taking like obviously Felicia Hardy, the black cat. They're kind of taking that and doing kind of a twist on it. I believe his name is Brendan Gleeson. You had mentioned him last week in the movie with Don Cheadle. He's actually in this as Silvermane. I like his performance so far, as well as the guys like Flint Marco and the other the guy that plays Tombstone as well. I think those guys are all doing a good job as well. I've been watching it in black and white. I think I told you originally when I first started watching the show, like when it first came out, that I'd started it in color. And I thought that was maybe like the right choice to make, but I had heard a lot of people talking about how the black and white is really the way to go, and some of the kind of effects and makeup suffer a little more in the color version, or a little more like noticeable in their like quality.
Yeah, I can see that. I didn't watch it in black and white until the later episodes because it was messing up when I was using Amazon. Amazon didn't make it easy, like for me to get the black and white at first, and then it finally worked.
So, yeah, I'm liking it. I'm gonna keep going with that. And I'm just excited to see if they actually like pull it off. And honestly, I hope this is. I know they're always going to want more, you know, always want more money. If it's, especially if it's successful. I don't know if they've already announced like a season 2 or not, but this is the kind of thing that honestly, I would be more than happy if they just wrapped everything up, you know, and told a small isolated story with the characters that they have. Oh, okay, good.
It does.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. I like it's no cliffhanger, and then it's like, oh, are they gonna do another season? And then how long will it be? Because,
like, honestly, like, you know, Nick Cage will basically do anything, or at least at a certain point, he was like willing to say yes to anything. But I just don't know how many seasons you're gonna get out of him for this, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they made the choice to just kind of wrap it up neatly. Good.
You Spider-Gwen noir. Anyway, all right. So I guess we get what we've been playing. So the Gears of War E-Day beta has started this weekend, and I have downloaded and played the bit of it. So if the beta is the Horde mode and the versus. Not a big versus guy. If you don't listen to the podcast, neither of us are.
Yeah.
So I played the Horde mode, which the game does start you off with like training of just like the basics and everything. And yeah, the new things I noticed, at least for the training, is like, they're just like in action first person shooters and stuff like that. The slide, you can do the slide now in Gears, and also you can climb up on platforms now. Like you can actually jump up and climb up. Like you couldn't really do that before. Like you press the Y button to do that, and you can like kind of hop over stuff with Y also, like a vault. I think you still can use A, but like just if you want to jump over something like a little high, like, and also be careful because you can die. I did not know that. I just jumped over something. I was curious. I was like, what happens here? And I guess that my partner was curious too. By the not computer guy. This was actually doing the match. Another guy, because he vaulted over too and died also because he did what I did, and I guess he was thinking like, oh, I can vault over too. And I guess me not having the bike saying, don't do it. But
was it just like, was it a spiky thing that you vaulted over, or what was it that killed you?
No,
when you vaulted over?
It was too high. I was too high up, and I jumped down, and I just fell. I was like, "Oh,
jeez, okay."
Because I was
fall damage.
I was just wondering, it was like, yeah, I just want to know because I never had fall damage in Gears before because you never did.
You never left the ground.
Yeah. So
these guys can't jump. They're like elephants. They're too heavy.
But somebody can pick up your tags, and then if they bring it to this machine, it brings you back to life. Which I want to say that was done before in the newer Gears. I felt like that was a thing before, but I don't remember because I didn't play enough of the Horde mode in Gears 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But anyway, somebody brought us back to life, so that was cool. But anyway, yeah, doing the trade. I'm trying to think of some other mechanics like that are different. They have like some kind of special you can do if you hold the L3 or R3 buttons at the same time, like based on your class. Like there are classes in this, which and might have been classes in the last Gears. I don't remember, so don't quote me on that. I know there was a lot of level up stuff, but I didn't stay with that stuff.
Yeah,
I wasn't really.
I think they definitely added classes. I mean, because they had classes in like Judgment, right?
Well, Judgment definitely did. Yeah, they had classes in there. But anyway, in this, like, you got the assault, you got tactical, you got demolition. I think it's demolition or something. I don't know. Well, maybe tactical sniper. I don't know. Whatever the sniper one is, and then you have medic. And I played with assault initially. The default person, and it was Marcus, and I play with them mostly. And the guns, so what they do, I guess because the Lancer, like you were telling me, like, was a Lancer even there at this time? It was like prototype Lancer. So it's like, it's just a Lancer, basically. And it just doesn't look real nice and neat, I guess, like your traditional Lancer. So that's your excuse for having a Lancer. There you go, Daniel. You got the prototype. Then you have the old Lancer, of course, which is the one that you saw in Gears 3, where you just kind of just poke people, the bayonet at the end. You got the hammer burst. They also got some different like grenades. Like there's a grenade where if you throw and if the enemy crosses it, it's like a big mine, and like it splatters up. Shoots out like these barbs out. Like, not the barbed wire, but actually barbs and stuff, and might kill like multiple enemies at a time or whatever, or damage them. There's I'm trying to think. There's also, which I want to say this was available maybe in the newer Gears. I don't remember. There's a stem grenade that gives you health and stuff like that. I feel like this is something else. There was another. Oh, there's a turret grenade where you throw it out and the turret comes up. A little turret comes up and shoots. So, so the Horde mode, like when you first play it, it starts off like a real easy. Like this is where it's kind of just getting you into it, like a little easy little mini wave thing that you with 3 other people. and we just killed these waves of monsters. I didn't really. I was like, understand what we're supposed to do. Like, you get this I forgot what it's called. It's this machine that you have to power on. I don't know what it actually does. I have no idea. Like story wise, what this is supposed to do. But you turn it on, then the wave starts, and then you fight the monsters. And then we had to go to extraction point. You had to go to extraction point so everybody can leave, get on a copter, and that's how it ended. And then it goes into detail of like different horde modes, like you got, and like the limps. Like there's different modes. Like there's one that's like called Blitz, which is shorter for short light waves, and then you got one that's a little medium, a little longer, which I just played this morning. I had played Blitz. I played this one. I didn't play the real longer one, which is the longer. And they also have difficulties on them, like beginner, intermediate, and hard, and up there. So, and I think, and also during horde mode, like you're with teams of 4, but in the map, it's actually like 3 other teams. Like it's 12 people possibly on one map. And y'all all just doing your own individual missions, and I guess the mission is supposed to help overall help each other out. And then one time was when I was going to extraction point to get on the helicopter, I saw the other team, and first I thought they were bots or something. I was like, oh look, there's bots over there. Then I saw like, oh no, they're names because they were talking. Because when I got in proximity, I heard them actually on the mic talking, and I was like, oh. So I was like, I remember because I was confused at first. I was like listening about Gears early on this year. I was like, I thought there was supposed to be like a 12 horde matches. I guess they don't do this now. I said, oh no, that's how it works. It's 12 people, and you're kind of working together. You might even meet them. You might even see them. I guess go past these guys, like or something. Like you're doing different missions. Like you might have a mission where you're supposed to close the holes. They're doing something else. You got a mission where you control points. Like it's different things you do in this game. You might get things where you're supposed to connect intel, which you don't have to. Well, actually, you don't have to connect the intel. I think that's extra, but I think it gives you more points or something to use. Like because as you fight, you gain more points to gain upgrades for your team and whatever, and also you level up. Like this has been going on in Horde probably ever since Gears 3. You level up your character. But now it's getting like more modding to the guns and adding things to guns that you have. I'm not really big on that, but that's the nature of these games now. Yeah, they have that. So you level up your class, you get abilities for your class too. Like I got, and that I chose to unlock. Like I chose to unlock the ability to, like when I do. What's it called when you reload? Active reload. When I active reload, my bullets are stronger or something like that on my active reload. Or they got the ability where, hey, if I'm in cover, I have more accuracy. My accuracy is even better now, or my bullets do more damage now, or something like that. Like you choose what you want to have on each specific gun. So yeah, that's what it is. Like you do, yeah. Each specific gun changes and stuff like that, and then different classes have different abilities also. So it gets pretty deep with that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's Horde, and it brings something new to Horde. It's not just like I believe like it needed to change from the 1 to 50 wave kind of thing. That needed to change, which it kind of did. I think even the last game, I think they even had it where you can do like, hey, this only goes to 1 to 20 or something like that. And like, because like 150 is like it can get long. And like, yeah, you can either want to choose to do that. It's fun, but it can get long. And bring in more, like you do actually specific objectives in a thing that makes it a little more refreshing. Also, like I like that. Essentially, cool. Yeah, and the map seems all right. Like it's a huge map, so I think I've been on I don't know if this is the only map that's in the beta, but I've been in different parts of that map, so it's not like it's like it's really big because hey, it's supposed to be 12 people up here. They're on like different parts of the map. And the enemies I've seen the new enemy I've seen is like a frog looking one that shoots out some type of um green blob thing that's like I guess it's acid or whatever. I'm trying to think. Have a like a lot of enemies I have seen before. And I mean, they might have been Gears One, but they're Gears Three. Like you see enemies you see in Gears Three, like you didn't see in Gears One. But I'm trying to think. Oh, there was one where a guy, one of the maulers, like have like this big gun where it shoots out almost like a what's it called? Like it shoots out in the air. Like what's it called on the ship when they spearing? Like the spear when you spear a fish,
Like a
something or a
harpoon.
whale. I guess to shoot harpoon. Yeah, like a harpoon kind of gun they have there, and you can use it yourself also. Um, yeah, I think I came off with like one glitch when I couldn't use my the power up that you have like as a medic that you can heal people. Like I used it twice, and it filled back up, but I pressed it again, couldn't use it no more. I don't know what happened. That's probably the only glitch I really came across in the game. But yeah, it seems fun. I'll probably play some more too of it. Yes, it's pretty good, and like mechanic, like the actual gameplay, like I can see like playing the story mode, like what they added with that stuff. It's like, yeah, this seems cool, man. It seems all right. And hopefully it does well enough that they can continue the goddamn story, so I can see how it ends in the actual story. But who knows?
Yeah.
They probably just gave up on it. I kind of this kind of makes me want to go back to play Gears again, though. Actually, like, cause I was going through it. I think I was at Gears 3. I think I had played 1 and 2, and then I was on 3, and then that's where I had stopped. But I feel like going back to play that again. Um, what else has there been?
Hey, real
Or else have I
quick, you're gonna
played?
hear Craig because I forgot to start him earlier. So I'm gonna when we finish, let me get your audio and I'll add it to the Craig file.
Oh, okay. Oh, darn. That's right. We did not start crit. Start crit.
All right.
Yeah, that sucks. All right. All right. So what else have I played? I have played some more Final Fantasy 16. Still at the very end, doing extra mission before I go into the last big mission to kill the boss. But also I've been playing Genshin Attack, the crazy like train skateboarding game that kind of looks like Jet Set Radio kind of style thing. And yeah, so you are a train. Well, I mean, you're a person on a train. You are a person, human being, but you're controlling the train. I didn't really pay attention to what they were talking about, like why we're doing this, or I think we're fighting some corporation shit, but I didn't really care. The gameplay is fun. Like you're on a train track and like you can do tricks and stuff like that on the tracks. Plus, you got to watch out for obstacles while you're on the rails.
Mhm.
You can even get to a point of the game where you're grinding and stuff like that, and then you can jump on other tracks. You get multiple in like on a map. You can probably go multiple like routes, so you have to
Oh, cool.
choose. And yeah, and like each stage, you'll get points like because based on your skills and stuff and time of how you went through the track. So it's replay value there. Like I've been playing like some tracks multiple times just try to get the highest points. I still have not got gold or anything. I'm still trying to get there. Like learning the tricks and stuff like that. But I have got silver. But yeah, man. Then you can unlock some things to put on your like stuff that you can put on your decals. You can unlock decals for your train. Uh,
Nice.
but yeah, I like the look of it, man. I like the tricks. It's not difficult, like super difficult. So I like that about it.
Mm.
It's like yeah, easy to learn, like just like difficult, like you
Hard
want
to
to master it and
master
stuff like
because
that.
yeah.
Yeah. But it is fun, and I really like it. It's definitely something different, like I haven't played in a while. So yeah, I was surprised actually how much I liked the game. Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, that's really the new games I played. I mean, I've been playing some baseball, MLB The Show. Well, 25. I ain't played
Mm.
the new one. And no, I ain't played no football this week. But yeah. So what have you been playing?
I tried out Beast of Reincarnation. That is the new Pokemon Company game, Game Freak game. This is the one that everybody's been like leading up to it. They were like, "Oh, look how much better this is than Pokemon. Look what they could do with all the potential." Um, and I think it looks good. It doesn't look super great, and I think part of that might just be my setup. It defaulted to medium, and I didn't even try running it at that. I just turned it to high because it seemed like a game that like shouldn't be that intense. Um, Now, one of the things I apparently missed because I started the game and it was Japanese voice acting with subtitles, and I was like, "Oh, I could have swore this had English voice acting." So I went into the menus, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Now I just looked it up a minute ago, and apparently you have to do it before you load your save file. You can only do it from the main menu, which doesn't really make any sense to me. Um, but basically, the story seems to be that you're this woman who is a purifier, is what they're calling it, and there is a blight going on across the country that you're traveling across, and you are
Mm-hmm.
basically like bringing nature back to the areas that are blighted. Um, it's kind of cool because like all the places that you step, like grass grows under you. The same with your wolf companion. You have a wolf companion that you can also control through like a command thing. It's almost like Final Fantasy where you press a button and then you can go, okay, I want him to use this. Um,
Okay.
Generally speaking, it's the right bumper combat, like a Dark Souls esque type thing. It's not nearly as like heavy. At least to me, it feels a little more snappy, a little more action, a little more fast paced. Um, but it also feels more parry based than, say, for instance, like an avoidance style thing. Like even in like an Elden Ring or Dark Souls, you have a roll out of the way, and maybe that's just not a skill I've acquired yet, but I didn't have any way to avoid attacks, which very much led to me running into some difficulties with some people. The parries, and not even the parries necessarily, but the blocks just felt like they weren't working for me 100% of the time, and maybe there's like a gauge that I'm not paying attention to, because sometimes it's like, oh, well, you've exhausted your block gauge, your stamina or whatever, so now you can't block anymore. Um, I'm wondering if that was maybe my issue, but I think generally the game seems fine. I don't know that it's something that I'm gonna stick with necessarily. Um, I was never sure that this was a game that was like right up my alley, especially with its comparisons to like a Dark Souls. But I think it is a little more friendlier than that. Um, like I said, I think visually it looks very nice. It is also interesting. You have these like woodsy creatures, deer and bears and stuff like that, mixed with these like very organic plant like things growing on them, or in some cases it looks like they're all almost just made up by them. So I played for about, I don't know, about 40 minutes. I'm up to the first large boss, and that's kind of where I put it down after struggling with that encounter. But yeah, it's a game that isn't quite gonna do what I think a lot of people were hoping for, which was show that Game Freak has so much more potential that is being wasted on Pokemon, basically, because they're not being allowed to make, this extravagant level thing. I think visually it shows that they could do far better. Obviously, voice acting wise, any voice acting would show that you're doing a better job than Pokemon. So I think there are production quality things here that show that they have far more potential than they either are showing or are given the ability to show on the Pokemon games. But I don't know that they're quite like the diamond in the rough that people were really hoping for. I think the combat definitely could use some refinement. It does sound like they're, at least what they're saying, at least, is that they're going to be updating this game basically on a weekly basis, based around the players' feedback. So this might be one of those instances where like I'm playing it relatively at launch and I'm getting not quite the best version of this game, 6 months down the line. This might be kind of a polished gem. And if that's the case, keep an eye on it. But right now, one of the things that I find about games, and this is coming from someone who's been playing games basically all his life at this point, I think we've come to a point where we need to better implement tutorials. There has to be an in-between between like a Nintendo style thing where they tell you one sentence, you press a button, and then they tell you another sentence and you have to, do the same thing 3 times or something like that. And like a game like this where it almost feels like they're not telling you anything. Like I've got all these gauges around my health bars, and I've got all these UI elements that unless I dig into a menu, I don't know necessarily what they're for. Like I was initially playing the game and I'm like, all right, which one of these things is my health? Because like I've got this circle around my weapons and then I've got these 2 little blips on the bottom. And
is that like the Demon Souls element of it though? Are they doing that?
Well, and that's what I wonder, but even then, like, who cares? Like, I don't care. I don't
I mean,
care.
I'm against that either. I'm against that either. I mean,
I don't
I'm sorry.
care if that's a choice by the Dark Souls developers. I still think it's
I don't like that
stupid.
choice. Yeah. Yeah, me too.
To just because there's a difference between like obfuscating the story, right? And you're saying like, oh, well, you have to read all these item descriptions to get the story. I think that's still a choice that I don't necessarily gel with. But just the simple task of playing the game and the readability of the UI and why like this item goes here versus this item going there. I think it's important for them being developers to learn how to communicate these things to people. And I don't know, maybe there's some young kid listening to this podcast that's just like, all right, old man, look at the internet or ask Gronk or whatever what that means. But to me, it's just like it quickly detaches me from the game if the readability of the game is just not there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd see it. Yeah, that's disappointing. And like I've been hearing, like the scores I've been seeing is basically like average, basically, or like sevens, like good, but or less, like nothing super great.
Yeah, exactly.
With it, so which is kind of disappointing. Like I was hoping it would be something really special. The way people talked about it, like Game 4 gave it a 6. So, like the game I've been hearing really special people talk about is the Big Walk, which I never played because I don't have people to play that with. And even then, I don't know if I'm interested in it. But I definitely see how people play games and stuff. That seems really cool. Like to do, like, yeah. I say, yeah, that's cool. That's people having fun with that. Yeah.
Dominic,
right,
maybe I'm jaded and old at this point, but are there really like that many people that that have groups to play those style games? Or is it really just more about getting an audience from like a streaming community and
That's
then
what I was thinking.
having everybody kind of enjoy it as entertainment for watching
Because the
streamers
people,
play that stuff?
yeah, the people I read, of course, to do it is people who deal with video games, so they're always
Yeah.
with somebody who who's going to play that.
I mean,
Like,
I
but
think
like,
I'm probably relatively wrong there because I know like even like people at work, they even if they don't have like a group around them necessarily, they have like Discord chats that they participate in and stuff like that,
yeah,
where I'm
and
sure you
people
could get a
like,
group of people together in a game like this.
oh yeah, like if I'm willing to do that, it's just that I've never. For me, it's always a commitment because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I get it going. Then I'm like, I don't really feel like playing, but then I just told him I'd do it, and now
Right,
I'm gonna
right.
play.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting into that point. See that, and that's why I like it when if there was something, if there was something in the game where you can quickly do that instead of me doing these other things. Because I feel like by the time I do these other things, and then it's like, ah, I don't, I'm not interested anymore. I was like, it's weird. I mean, it's probably an age thing or just the way I feel like now. Like it's just different. Like I would probably be more into it when I was younger. Um, but I just not. And um, yeah, like it's like that. Like, and plus, I don't want to. But I want to pay for that game. That game has to be on Game Pass or something. Because I'm like, it's not a game I'll be doing all the time. I can't risk. I'm not gonna risk paying for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but BC Coronation, yeah, that's a little disappointing. I was hoping something else, but hey, good. That leads me to keep playing these games that I have in the backlog. All right, I guess we'll take a quick break when we get back. We get to the flashback segment,
All right.
and we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2016, 10 years ago. We got a couple games here to talk about, and we're going to start off with Never mind, because I thought this was
Oh, that's an older game, isn't it? Yeah, that's an old.
actually on is this was a re-release of it for the
Yeah, that was the
PS4 and
re-release.
Xbox One. All right, so we don't have to talk about that one. So we're going to talk about Overcooked. Came out
Yeah.
10 years ago, and this is a game where you are playing with friends, and it is couch co-op, not online co-op. I think the part 2 is the one that actually did put online co-op.
Yeah.
But I have played this because I think it was on Xbox One as a free game, and I was on my friend's place down in North Carolina. Me and my 3 friends played together. Actually, no, him and his
His daughter,
stepdaughter.
right? Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we were playing together, Overcooked, and it is fun. Like it's a top-down look. And you'll get you're working like for like this restaurant or whatever, and then it comes with a menu, and then you kind of work together. Like you chop, either somebody chops a salad, somebody does cook something else, or y'all work together to get the orders. The orders coming in pretty it gets faster as the time goes on, like, and then that's how you do it. You get a certain score, and then as the game progresses, you start doing cooking on weird stuff, man. Like I one time I was on a boat, like some like a ship, but like rocket ship, whatever. I don't know, but it's not like you was on a cruise or nothing. But yeah, you were doing it there. Then you're kind of building on top of like in the sky or something. Like it gets weird, but it's fun, and it's totally fun, man. Party fun game, man. I really enjoy playing that. Like I got to for me to get to, because I thought this is a game I never thought I would get to experience. I always seen videos or heard like listen to podcasts, people talk about stories about playing it. And I was like, hey, that sounds like fun. And then to actually play it, I was like, wow, this is fun. And yeah, I wish it did have online because we could play online together. Then part 2 did, and I don't know, we just never got to it. I don't know. If part 2 probably did come on Game Pass, I don't even remember, man. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, man, Overcooked. That was one of those great party simulation games.
Yeah.
That was that. It was real cool. It was really neatly done.
Yeah, it feels like
Um,
one of the early kind of
yeah,
revivals of like the couch co-op multiplayer chaos games.
yeah, exactly. Like I never played Cookie Mama, and but I seen videos of it, and it's just like I'm more of in a real setting kind of way though with that. Um, I imagine that's what Cookie Mama is, right? Is it Cookie Mama like you kind of speed up cooking stuff?
Honestly, I
But it's
have
like
no idea what Cooking Mama
I
actually
just imagine it
was.
was I just imagine it was like a single player way of like
Yeah.
that. Like you're just seeing the picture of the lady and you're kind of just doing the stuff. But
This always reminded me of there was that other one, Diner Dash, I
this is
think.
what else came out. What's it called?
A Diner Dash, I think that's the one this always reminded me of.
Oh, okay, Donna Dash. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
think he did similar stuff.
No Man's Sky came out
Yeah.
10 years ago for the PS4. That this is huge because like this is the game. It was always anticipated. Everybody was waiting for it. A game like a CG generated universe, basically like with planets. You can go to these different planets, see different like aliens or wildlife, and like do exploration, and like it's like everybody's in this huge universe. Like you might even see somebody possibly, like even though but the universe is so huge, you like just like a real universe, but still it was just it felt like, man, this is so grand and cool. You got your own ship and all this stuff. And then when it came out, it was not super great. I mean, it was interesting. I tried it out. I like, I mean, it seemed kind of cool, but then it got old fast for me. And like, yeah, it was a little disappointing at launch. Like, it was disappointing at launch. It didn't really live up to the hype that people really thought it was. Some people loved it
Yeah.
though, but overall, it
Those
didn't.
people were
But
freaks,
this
Dominic.
game, but this game, they continued with it. They updated it. They kept updating it for over 10 years now. Well, 10 years, yeah, 10 years now, and they're going to continue to for as I know. And it has become something like so much bigger than what it was initially was, and yeah, it's become really great, man. Like it's become a great game. People loved, and like you see the updates, you see the stories about what it is. It's like, man, this game, wow, it survived. Like you would never like initially you would never think like, man, you think like, man, this game is not gonna be anything, but nah, they
Yeah.
kept at it. They kept with the updates and stuff. That it's a game that like it's not big for me because I'm not really big on survival
Yeah.
games where you have to keep getting materials and stuff. Like I don't mind that, but I also need a story. Like I need a straight story. And now they do have something that's a story in there, not in a way in sense that I really like, but it's a lot there. It's just I don't really have time to really come back to it right now. I had come back. I had came back to the game a few times and like how it's totally different than what it was. I mean, there's big improvements too, like even graphical improvements. Even since then, the initial launch. But um, yeah, I like survival. I realized like yeah, survival games aren't my thing. I think survival games are games that I would appreciate more playing at a younger age. A younger age when I had more like a lot of time, and I don't mind just spending this much time on one game or something like that. I think I would,
Mhm.
yeah, I would love survival games, but now I'm more of like somewhat linear games. Like it can be a little open, but there is a linear path there that I know what I have to do. But nah, man, like I give No Man's Sky like a game that really like yeah, it was kind of fell off. I mean, kind of fell short of what people's expectations were, but became that game and more
Mhm.
as time went on.
Yeah, basically through perseverance and just sticking with it. I mean, They haven't made another game since then, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So they did announce that they are working on something else. I believe I remember now, but
What's the company called?
I'm trying to look that up right now, actually. Hello Games.
Hello Games. Yeah. Let's see. Their Post No Man's Sky, the studio announced initiative
Light No
to fund
Fire.
multiple. Yeah, the last. What was that? Announced the last campfire. Yeah. That's the last campfire did come out. That's a game they did. That was post what we call it?
Okay. Was that after that? Okay.
Yeah, iOS, Mac, Nintendo Switch, Windows, Xbox One.
But I think just
October
like a couple
27th,
of years
2020.
ago, they announced Light No Fire, which is another like big survival sandbox game, but this time it seems like more fantasy instead of sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah, these are guys that did Joe Danger. Yeah, that's right. Now
Isn't that so crazy that they're making Joe Danger and then No Man's Sky, this super ambitious thing.
Right. So that is it for 2020. Oh, I'm sorry, 2016. So now we're going back 20 years to 2006. And Rhythm Tengoku, or the US is called Rhythm Heaven, right?
Yeah.
Now, you tell me more about this game, because I mean, I've seen it all the time, so I figured it was popular. But yeah, what's this game?
Yeah, so basically for America, the big deal was WarioWare, right? And this is basically what that is. It's a little more music focused than WarioWare is.
Game Boy Advance.
Hence the rhythm.
Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hence the rhythm aspect of it. But yeah, it's basically one of those. They're short mini games based around rhythm and visuals, obviously. And it's just one of those short addicting things that's just kind of, once it earworms its way into you just have a hard time stopping playing.
Yeah, I just remember seeing Rhythm Heaven for the DS. Like,
yeah,
that's the one. I didn't even know it came on the Game Boy Advance. So like, this is the first one. So yeah. What else we have here? 2006. For Xbox 360, Dead Rising came out. Yes, this was the Capcom zombie game, and where you play as Frank West, I want to say. And you are a photographer, and you're running through the mall with zombies, taking pictures, and you're killing zombies with all kinds of stuff. But it's timed, because when the time runs out, what the fuck happens? Is it like a bomb goes off or something? Like to kill the zombies?
Yeah,
is that what
something like that. I think they were gonna like bomb the mall or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a time game, and thing is, it's like if you don't get there when the time runs out, you start the game over. But I think you start the game over with some of the weapons or things you collected. I wanted to say you did. And I forgot how long is it? That's why I have never played the game, because when it told me it was timed, I never touched it. Like I said, I'm not doing. I said I don't want to be timed. This looks fun, but that's what I want to do. I want to play around the mall and kill a bunch of zombies, and I don't want to be thinking about, oh no, there's a timer. Now I played part 2 when they said, hey, it's a little much better than 1. Even though it's time, but it's not that big a deal, blah, blah, blah. Me and my friend Foot played that game. We played it for a while. We both lost because the time ran out. We did not touch the game again. We were just so pissed. We said, fuck this game. Because we said, this is bullshit. We did all this shit, and we got to start again from the beginning? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like, why is it time? And that's a Foot like, it's like, why is this timed? So why is this game timed at all? It's like, I don't. It's like they want to make it a cinema, but they made it's like It's like, I don't know. Why couldn't that just be a mode you want to play? Like you want to play a hard mode. You want to get to the game super fast. But this, you just want to play, have fun. Here you go. Don't know. Dumb. This is something that you can never convince me of. You like nobody can convince me of it. Like if you can argue and say, hey, this is the game you want to make. It's not that difficult to say, look, man, you can still have fun, but you just gotta focus and try to get out there. And I was like, shut the fuck up. No, I don't want to play what I
focus on ending this fun game quicker, please.
Yeah. It's like, dude, let that be an actual, like, one of those things you like replayability thing. It was like, hey, finish this game fast at this certain amount of time. Don't do this, man. Because I saw the timer go, like it was a cutscene. I said, oh shit, yo. I said, look, I was like, look at the time. I'm like, what's gonna happen? What are they gonna do? Are they really going to just make it start over, or at least make us start at a checkpoint at least? Oh man, that just pissed me off. I said, man, fuck this game. All right. But the game was real popular. It was real popular on 360, and hey, they got sequels. They had part 2. You had the one that came out initially for the Xbox One launch. 3. Forgot what the subtitle was, if there was a subtitle at all. And then you had 4 that came out like just a few years ago. The remake of 1. Was it a remake of 1, right? Yeah, that came out. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, all right. I really like that demo, and that was the thing why I never purchased it, is because of that time limit. Like, I'm having so much fun in this demo, but the game itself is not much longer than that because I have to rush through to make sure I'm not getting, screwed over by this arbitrary time limit. And then there was like no save either. So the choices that they made with that game were incredible, despite like a very fun premise.
Yeah. It's just like, hey man, it's just a tough game. It's like, that's just a game. And I was like, yeah, well, okay, I guess
the game ain't for me then.
Get into it. Yeah. It's like, it's pretty. I said, I hope there's cheats. And wish they were. But the optimization for part 2 for PC was horrible. Like Capcom games then were optimized for PC horribly. Like it was bad. All right, so that's it for the Fastback segments. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. We go back 20 years. There's a couple things. 20 years ago, we got Ed Software co-founder, co-owner John Romero announces his departure from Ed, which the guy who created Doom basically in 2006. This is like post. Well, I wasn't totally actually. Maybe I did read about this. Yeah, 2006. Yeah, I'm thinking because for some reason I'm thinking even longer. But yeah, I just don't remember. But I now that I think about it, I think I did remember. Like, oh no, he's leaving, and then I also thinking like, why do I care? I mean, all I played was Doom, and I didn't really care about Doom 3. So I didn't know how to really take it. I wasn't. Yeah, that's the only thing I ever did play for it from the time. But yeah, but he's he's one of the key pillars in like the gaming community. Like he kept creating one of the most like Doom, which is like what we know for first person shooters, basically. Like people like know that game, and that's everything's come from after that. Also, oh yeah, there's also one for 40 years ago, 1986, Daniel, the year you was born. Metroid was released on the Famicom Disk System for Nintendo in Japan. This is the 40th anniversary of Metroid.
Crazy that Nintendo is doing absolutely nothing to celebrate it. I mean, admittedly, like they didn't really do that much for even like Mario, and I believe this year is also Zelda's 40th anniversary. They have the movies coming along. I know a lot of people said like, oh, part of the celebration is with Mario is like the release of the movie, but it's like other than that, we got this crappy collection that went away half.
Well, I think something that's actually good. They should release something that's good for its anniversary. Not the goddamn movie.
And there's been so much talk of like the Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remasters being on the shelf, being basically done. You obviously have the option to release those games on the online service. And maybe, you know, we're speaking this into existence. Maybe Nintendo will announce via their Nintendo Today app on Monday that, you know, Tuesday they're going to have a direct and show something off. There were those rumors, obviously, of a new 2G Metroid game potentially releasing this year as well. That would be fantastic, but you know, we've yet to see that. With all that said, the original Metroid game, especially when you go back nowadays, is an extremely rough experience. There is Metroid Zero Mission, which is effectively a remake of that game for the Game Boy Advance, which is a fantastic version of that. In a lot of ways, Super Metroid kind of is a retelling almost of that game. I believe there was also like a fan made PC something or other that I played as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, what? Oh yeah. Because no, that was Metroid 2. I swear there's one for one as
I was
well.
about to say, that was Metroid 2.
Yeah, maybe it's just Metroid 2 that I'm thinking of. But
I
I did finally go back.
Metroid Rescue Mission was
Metroid
retelling the first one too, right?
Yeah.
Well, whatever what was with the soldiers? Those were the
Federation Force.
Yeah, Federation Force.
Yeah, little chippy guys. Yeah, I did finally go back and actually play, and I, if I recall correctly, beat this game. But basically through an emulator with save states because there's no map, which is extremely rough in a game like this.
The days when you get graphing paper, people.
Exactly.
To make your map.
Yeah.
I remember my dad did that for like his Crondor game. He took graphic paper to make the map.
So in a lot of ways, like the existence of Metroid, and I feel like to an extent Zelda too, but Metroid as the first in its series was the setup to what became great games. It wasn't necessarily the great game. I mean, I think people argue differently for Zelda maybe, but for me, that first game where I was, you know, age-wise at the time, like it didn't click with me because I just didn't get it, you know. It didn't hold my hand as much as I needed it to. And when we got to like Link's Awakening, but also like Link to the Past, that's when like to me they refined those games to perfection. The same with like a Super Metroid. And then on to Ocarina of Time and Metroid Prime and so on and so forth. So obviously Metroid has its place in history, even as what I would consider a pretty big Metroid fan. I would be hesitant to put the first game up necessarily anywhere at the top of the pinnacle of the series, basically, when you've got at least I would say 4 5 other games ahead of it.
Yeah. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. So we'll take a quick break when we get back. Get to the gaming news.
All right.
We're back. So let's get to the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right. First up here, Dominic. Ghost Recon Wildlands is back from the dead with the last Rites update. This is a free update for the PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. It's adding 4K 60 frame per second support. It's got a new story mission, and it's also bringing back the Predator content that had come out in, I believe it was 2017 and got removed from the game in 2020. You're probably the only person that I know that spent a significant amount of time with Wildlands eventually. It seemed like a pretty fun game. I like that they're doing this. I'm not quite sure why though.
Yeah, that's the first one. It's not even the latest one. I mean, first one as in like first of the change, like they made to Ghost Recon, like because Breakdown came out after this, and like they're going back to the original Wildlands. That's was that the biggest seller? Like, is that why? Like, is that what people are mostly playing now instead of the latest one with
The
Vernthal?
idea of anybody playing any Ghost Recon right now is kind of amusing to me, to be honest with you. Just because it's been so
Well,
long.
you know what? My friend, he was playing that with the guy at his job 3 years ago.
Okay.
Like, and people were, and I had joined them just to play with them, and people were still playing that game, man. And like,
Gotcha.
they were still like, yeah. And I was like, darn. And this is the older one.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I forgot about Breakpoint. Is Breakpoint the one with John Barenthal, or is this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one.
Okay. So this is the one that we played then a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Man. Yeah, I was thinking this one was the newer, but yeah, I forgot about Breakpoint entirely.
Oh, that's why you were all quiet. Because I was wondering why you weren't saying anything. Because I was like, I was trying to say it. I was saying this is the old one.
Yeah.
Like, why is this the one to update?
Yeah, I mean, apparently it's the 25th anniversary of Ghost Recon. So I guess, yeah, they made a choice to do something for one of the Ghost Recon games, and it just happened to be that one.
I guess maybe I was saying maybe this is more popular. I have no idea. I always like this one. This is what like I did at time enjoyed this more than like Division one because like it was I could do single player stuff, but Division had to be always online and everything.
This game is $2.50 on Steam right now. It's $24.99 for the definitive edition. I'm not quite sure what the difference between the two is, but I wonder if there is
all the DLC, DLC that you.
Oh yeah, they did have lots of DLC for that. Didn't they?
What was I about to say? Yeah, I also like that if you didn't play with anybody, they had computer guys. Like it wasn't like you were just well actually, you know what? Time out, Daniel. I'm trying to think. Was it this one or was it this second one that did that?
Yeah, you're right. It might have been the second one that did CPU players.
Yeah, because I think they had your computer guys in the cutscenes. I forget, Daniel. I forget. I want to say I felt like I was with guys, but I wasn't with nobody. But maybe they didn't do nothing. I forget. Dan, don't get me lying. This game's so old. But good, yeah, good on that, Dan. So let's have fun with that game. And technically, you can play it on Game Pass because you got the Ubisoft thing. So if you people want to play it.
Now, I'm seeing a thumbs down here on Steam. Yesterday, you could get everything in game by playing the game. Today, they removed that feature, and now if you want everything in the game, you have to pay real money for it. They essentially removed the entire end game gameplay loop and put the rewards you could previously earn from gameplay into the cash shop instead. Which is interesting because I thought from what I had read about this was they were actually adding stuff that you previously couldn't get anymore back into the game, not just like the Predator stuff, but like other, limited time and stuff like that. But if that's the case, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So interesting. It definitely does make me more interested to go back to that game, and especially nowadays when I find myself looking more in the rear view mirror at games and looking back at games I want to revisit or try for the first time in some cases. versus like looking forward to what the next big thing is necessarily. I could see myself booting this up. All right, Dominic, speaking of looking in the rearview mirror, the 30-year anniversary of Quake has now passed us. And along with that, just like we saw recently with, I believe, the Doom update, MachineGames, the makers of like Wolfenstein, are releasing a new 19-level episode for Quake. So once again, going back to the old games, making new content for them, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about that. Yeah. Yeah, that is cool.
I'm sure I own that game somewhere. I also looked at that they have like the Switch version on sale right now for like a couple of dollars, like less than $5.
Hold up, I think the Game Pass has something.
Oh yeah, Game
I thought
Pass
they have
definitely have that on there. Of course.
Because I saw like they had the Quake Heretic thing.
But they also had RTX Quake at some point, right? So I think I might have bought Quake on Steam as well for that.
Yeah, they have Quake Dawn of the Machine.
Also, somewhere Quake around 2. Here, I have my Quake disc, Dominic. Actually, I think that's a Quake 2 disc. I don't think Quake I bought Arena. Quake 1.
Quake Dawn of the Machine, is that the original Quake?
Quake 2 is RTX. I don't know.
I want to say it is because when I click on it, it just says Quake then now.
Yes. The Dawn of the Machine is the new campaign, actually. That's the name of the new campaign. So yeah. That's the one you're looking
so that's it. All right. So then I downloaded it. How big is it? Oh my God, it's huge. It's 1.64 gigabits. How the hell? That game should be megabits.
I was going to say, I bet you like 90% of that is just this new campaign, Dominic.
Yeah, I was thinking like this thing was like
definitely
like
not fitting on a floppy drive, that's for sure. Like Jesus. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, I should not download that while podcasting, Dominic, because that makes my audio all glitchy sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Pause that. All right. Next up, Dominic. God of War, the TV show, might be getting an upgrade following the injury to Ryan Hurst during filming. They are looking to now replace him. And allegedly, there's talk that they're talking to Dave Bautista about replacing him. Now, I will say,
sorry. I mean, come on, man. Don't why you downgrading Ryan Hurst like that?
Because I saw what he looked like in the makeup, Dominic. They did that poor man a disservice by releasing one photo of him in the least flattering position possible in that shot.
You should not have show that man on the toilet in his Halo, and I mean his Kratos costume. That was awful.
I mean, you say that, and it's funny because that kind of looks like what he's doing in the woods. the way he's hunched over. I will say though, like, admittedly, the way Dave Bautista looks nowadays, if we were talking like prime WWE days, it's like, yeah, I can see that. Nowadays, he might be smaller than Ryan Hurst.
No more. I thought he was not doing Drax no more because the workout.
Yeah.
So he's working out again?
I mean, I'm sure he's working out, to some extent all the time, but he's got a much slimmer build now. So I don't know that I'm necessarily excited for him to be Kratos.
Kratos, technically, I mean, if you go by old Kratos, he was slimmer. Now he was bigger. I guess because they're doing the base off the newer one. So
yeah, the newer one.
Yeah, the bad one. That's what I call it the bad one. That's what I was going.
The turn, Dominic. The turn. Jesus.
That's right. I was all for it, Daniel, but now I don't know.
I was gonna say, you gotta be careful nowadays, Dominic. We're we're in the era now when these games came out that we were recording this podcast. There's plenty of proof of your opinion of that game at the time.
No, I'm going to erase them.
Just go to the website like, where
I got to erase the game for the year.
All right, Dominic. Speaking of game of the year, Grand Theft Auto 6, we now know when we're next going to see information about that. It is going to be an extended look on August 27th at the end of this month. That's a Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, that time is very important, Dominic, because at 3 p.m. Eastern, this is going to be an extended look that is exclusive to Netflix subscribers. They are trying to milk money out of people for game advertisements now, Dominic. And they're going to pull it off. Now,
it's going to break records.
It's going to break so many records.
Take that, Stranger Things.
Now, 6 hours later at 9 p.m. Eastern, it will appear on the Rockstar Games YouTube channel. Now, yes. I had also seen some people
the losers
say
will be seeing that for the first time on YouTube.
Yes, of course. I've seen some people say that they are okay with co-streaming this when it debuts on Netflix, which says to me, why wouldn't you just watch it on YouTube or Twitch with someone potentially talking over it, or just sitting there staring at it so that you can watch it not subscribe to Netflix? But I feel like there are enough people who are excited about Grand Theft Auto 6 that this might not like sell subscriptions for Netflix, but it will draw people to the platform to watch it.
Oh, I'm definitely watching it.
So
I ain't got nothing else to do at 3 o'clock on whatever day it is.
On a Thursday.
Give me any day. I got nothing to do on 3 o'clock any time of the day.
That's Margaritaville time, Dominic. Yeah, so we are in a new day and age where a company like Rockstar is now able to sell its advertising content to one of these media platforms.
Yeah, and the thing is,
don't love that.
I mean, yeah, you say that, but I don't know, man. It's just that it's only 6 hours later. It's going to be on YouTube, I mean, officially on YouTube. That it's not, to me, it's not a big deal. It's like, I mean, I don't like. It's like I don't like it, but then it's not. I'm not going to be. This ain't the hill I'm going to be fighting on. Man.
Sure,
it's like it's a whole lot of shit to fight for. Like people with their no disc, which they can fight for that shit. But like I'm just saying, like, because to me, I'm just thinking, like, you know what, you go ahead, do all this, because this is probably the last huge game I'll be playing. That.
See, I thought you were going to stop there. I thought you were going to tell me it's the last huge game, and I don't know that you're wrong about that.
Oh yeah. Well, I was saying the last huge game I'm playing. I have no. I mean, because I think the next game that's even close to that is going to be on something I can't afford to play, and I'm not even going to even think about.
Honestly, I feel like the next huge game is going to be whenever they release the online version of this game, or the online component to this game. You know, that will be the next and last huge game.
Basket, yeah, because what's. I think that's it. I mean, yes, there will be other games, and there'll be other games that people will say they like better. But as far as scope and like what
popularity
this is, nah, it might be the last one, because
we're cooked after this, Dominic. We're cooked.
Yeah, I think it'll be a different world by the time there can be a chance of another Grand Theft Auto. It'll be a totally different world we're living in.
Yeah.
It'll be a great world, Daniel. We'll be in a utopia where we don't care about games.
Because we all made it to heaven after we died.
Yeah. We're all the Garden of Eden. It's just all come back and we're all just happy. Just holding hands and just dancing around. Oh, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, yes. This is kind of it's crazy that this is like a thing that they do because it's like, man, you're at the point where you really like you never seen Grand Theft Auto really go for the money in this kind of way.
Yeah. It
But
just always came
now,
so naturally to them that they didn't really need to
yeah.
exploit it.
So, but I guess this is the world's like, look, man, I like it. This is always telling you, it's like everybody's trying to make their money. Like it's almost like somebody knows something's going to happen, going down, and there's somebody people going to some bunker somewhere, or they're going to the spaceships to go to another planet. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it seems like everybody's trying to make as much money as they can. Like people are selling companies that don't have nothing like wrong with like not even in financial ruin, but they just feel like, yeah, this is built. This is get as much money as let me just sell now. And it's like, what the hell, man? Somebody knows what's going on, and nobody wants to say it. Wants to say it, but it just seems like, man, I don't know. Like everybody's trying to just they're fighting for the last piece of cheese, man, to get all it, and until they have to get out of here.
What do they know that we don't know, Dominic? All right, we're mere days away at this point, Dominic. We're less than 20 days away from seeing more of Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah,
and after that,
then
we
just
will
months
not be
away
that
from the
far
game.
afterwards. Man, this has me already thinking about the end of August, which has me thinking about the beginning of September, and then we have Wolverine.
Yep. Another Sony exclusive, like about time, like a new game for Sony. So they did have whatchamacallit earlier this year, Soros, which
came and went.
I guess it didn't go as well as I thought. I mean, I don't really hear much people talking about it.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, even compared to Returnal, which I think Returnal at least had some level of benefit to being a launch title, but I think even that, I think people are still, more positive on that game than they are on Soros. And it's unfortunate.
All right. Oh yeah, the Electronic Arts, they have been fully acquired now. Yep. Oh yeah, and I sent you that thing that they're thinking about selling off BioWare and something else. I was hoping you read it, but I didn't see you put it up.
No, I didn't put it on there because it's still rumor stuff, and I know we talk about rumor stuff all the time, but just trying to go 1 week at least without being like into the negatives. But yeah, effectively, they're talking about this whole thing is a leveraged buyout, right? Which means the company that is being bought out is essentially taking on the debt of the purchase. And I believe it's Jason Schreier that's reporting that like the interest alone on that debt would be like $1.8 million a year. And right now, like EA's like profit is 1.5. So like they wouldn't quite even be able to make the payment on the interest, let alone bring down the principal of the debt, which means how do you do that? You get rid of more people because that's what's costing you money. You also, I don't know, maybe release games, EA. It's weird thought for a video game studio, but, or publisher, but, maybe release games. And how do you release games? With people who make games. But obviously, we're looking at the short term. And, I think I said it as part of like the year predictions or just speculation when we first talked about the announcement of this. But like, I don't see how EA lasts very long after this. It doesn't seem, at least EA in the way that it exists now, like in the same way that
I was about
Toys
to
R Us
say,
technically still exists.
like the Madden and like the sports games, they gotta go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. They will seemingly, continue to exist. I just yeah, so who do you cut then, right? I mean, then the obvious choices become like your BioWares. You can't get rid of Tiburon. Those are the guys that make Madden, I think, still.
The did they get rid of the Dead Space people yet?
I think they did. That was what, EA Motive, I think. Maybe not, but that was also the studio that canceled the Black Panther game, I believe, right?
Oh, okay.
Because there's the Captain America Black Panther game, and then there was the actual like just Black Panther game, and the Captain America one, that's the one with Amy Hennig that's happening at Skydance, which is Paramount, which got delayed, and I think it's basically delayed indefinitely. But then there was the Black Panther project at
They have to
EA,
do
and
a
I think
Moon
that
Knight
was
game
EA
now
Motive.
since the Arabs bought them.
And you said a Moon Knight game, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really makes you wonder, where else would those cuts come from other than the most obvious places, which, like you said, BioWare and places of that nature. This wouldn't be the first time EA, at the very least, acquired a studio and then shut it down, usually much quicker than this and for much less calls. What is the legacy of BioWare if they give them the hatchet or find someone to sell them to? My thing is,
Yeah.
like, who would you sell them to? This is a prime candidate for like Microsoft 2 years ago. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, we'll take BioWare, give us that." But
Some people say I
nowadays,
saw some people
absolutely
say
not.
Amazon.
Yes, because they're the only ones that feel like they have money, but they also don't seem all that committed to video games. Like, all the talk I hear
Tencent.
around this James Bond game is like, it's selling pretty well. It's a good game. They could make another one, that iterates on it basically the same way they did with the Hitman games. Which means it would be, slightly cheaper because you don't have to do all the work, engine and all that stuff. But it sounds like it's not a definitive. Like, they haven't given them the green light yet to work on that second one. It's like, why wouldn't you move forward with that? You know how long video games take to make, and maybe that's the problem, right? Is people at Amazon don't know how long video games take to make, so they don't realize that, they need to immediately get on this, otherwise, they're fucked up. So I don't know, Dominic, what do you think? Like, just another once great dead developer? Is that what we got to deal with?
Yep. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm
That's
thinking.
what
I'm
we
thinking
have to look forward
BioWare's.
to.
So the last great thing that I really liked from them was Mass Effect 3. And I mean, I enjoyed Dragon Age Inquisition a bit. And like Veilguard was like, I mean, wasn't a bad game, but it's just like gameplay wise, it was better than I thought, even though I wanted more RPG element, but I'm okay with it. Story-wise, it could have been a whole lot better. The dialogue, it's just there's a lot of things that just could have been so much better with that game story-wise. And Inquisition, that could have been a whole lot better game. Like that, they just dropped the ball. So yeah, the last great game, I guess, for me was Mass Effect 3. And they just, man, that company, it's one of my favorite companies. All my favorite companies are gone. I mean, pretty much. Like the guys who I really liked when I was a little younger or even young adult, like they are just done.
Yeah.
They're not what they are.
And the sad part is that's not even factoring in for the human element of it, right? Like it was Casey Hudson back at BioWare eventually.
He came back and then he left again.
Yeah. So it's like not even the names are surviving, let alone the people. They've come and gone. Basically a hollow shell of what it once used to be. And that's not to say that they couldn't make another great game, but if that's the case, allegedly they're working on a Mass Effect game. What happens to that? If it gets shopped around, then obviously potentially that game would go with it, I would imagine. But
I don't think because they're supposed to be developing, that's the
supposed to be their big tentpole thing. Yeah. And it's literally like EA's not doing anything else besides sports games, and they're not even doing that many sports games. I mean, obviously they're making one a year, which is an undertaking in and of itself. But if that's all you've got, up until this point of the year, we're going to see Madden in a couple of weeks, I'm sure. But we got NCAA football and we got UFC so far. That's been it. We're in August. We're 4 months away from the end of the year. EA's not going to release but 3 games. They do have the Star Wars game, the Respawn one, the tactical thing. And hopefully for Respawn's sake that sells, because what happens to Respawn? Respawn could be another one that's up on the chopping block, basically, especially after losing, the head of the studio, in that tragic accident. I wonder if they look at that as kind of a liability now that they don't necessarily have someone steering the ship over there, especially if the Star Wars game doesn't hit. And I think there's probably a good chance of that not hitting too, right? Because it's just such a niche market. You had the Marvel's Midnight Suns during a more prime Marvel time. You don't even have Star Wars movies really coming out right now.
You can go down. Yeah, you can go down with it. Yeah. There's another game like Marvel Midnight Suns, the Square Enix, the Marvel Avengers game. I mean, stuff that were probably sell years ago. Years ago, you know how many shit games were based off of just movie copies that I'm sure they made their money? And for that to just not do well, now that could be a combination of how much they even spend on it. Maybe I wonder if they had spent a certain amount less, would have been deemed a success. I don't know the final price and how much money they made. But it's just amazing that that's a failure. That game is a failure. No matter how bad it is, no matter if somebody say it was bad. There's a lot of bad games, that's happening that just sold because of the name. That's just amazing that didn't do it. Or anything Star Wars, those Star Wars games, even though they talk about how they made a lot of money, but I almost feel like if it did, it wouldn't be EA wouldn't be in the position if they actually made what it I want it. I don't know. Like they had that license. Yeah, like you said, they had a license. It's weird, man. Um, this is all just like whatever. I think I just saw like a Lana Pierce. She had a video on like why like people like why is it that the Japanese companies you don't hear about a ton of layoffs
Hmm.
compared to the Americans stuff like that. And I didn't watch the whole video. I watched some of it. I was gonna go back to it. I know she mentioned like it says like well I think in the title it says like America sucks or something like that. And like I'm like yeah I mean that I can I understand the sentiment on that, but but she does go in more detail. So that's what I was saying. Like I'm gonna watch the show because I'm sure she goes in more detail because I action the same thing. Like without the whole the obvious thing people would say like oh the American sucks and blah blah blah. I'm like yeah, but these are all companies too. So I generally want to know why. And I know like Japan, they got some things that's like better than us as far as laws that prevents things from being able to get people get being able to fired or laid off without some reasoning. Stricter laws on that. But also, I didn't. She probably does say it, but I didn't see it. I'm curious about the pay. That's really what I'm like. I'm like, how much money? Because I heard that they're getting raises over there. They say, hey,
Hmm.
these companies getting raises like this, like Nintendo giving this amount of raise. I think Capcom getting some raise. Like these other Japanese companies, yeah, giving raises to their guys. And I'm just curious, like, man, that sounds great. Um, but what is their raise compared to a U.S. like um pay?
Yeah, like salary to
Like,
begin
it's
with.
just
Yeah.
yeah. What's the
And then
salary
what's
like you
the
start
cost
with?
of
And
living
like,
like over there versus over here?
yeah, exactly. It's a lot of questions because it's simple to say things like that, and like I'm not trying to put like some people they always equate to like you're trying to just not find wrong. No, because I know I have done that. I have always looked at like oh they're just great over there, but I feel because I feel like if they were so great, we would see a lot of people going over there too. I feel like people in the know they would know. Learn it's like, well, I'm gonna fucking learn Japanese. I know I do this shit, and I'm gonna work over there. And hell, now in today's world, you probably there's ways to get around the language barrier to really talk to people and stuff like that. So, like, so I think that's I would see that there's got to be a reason why that isn't because I want to know why there aren't people going like, oh man, I'm gonna go over there like from here because it's like they got these jobs things, and it's about to be cultural things and stuff like that. Definitely is a huge hurdle. I mean, because that could be a thing. But yeah, like you said, it's yeah. What's the cost of living? What's this? Because I hear things like of like also certain aspects of other companies and stuff like that's a little different. I hear that like, but either way, it looks bad at the outset. If you're looking from the outset, looking at these companies, it looks bad though. It still looks bad. That they're not doing a whole bunch of layoffs. Why
Cool.
are we doing a whole bunch of layoffs? Why the Western world doing a whole bunch of layoffs?
Yeah.
Like what what
Because
is it
that
that
does
you can
include
learn from them?
Ubisoft.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It includes the European countries too.
Yeah.
Like so, like what is it something y'all can it can be learned from them that you can do, or is it just their way that their laws are built where they're not going to shut down in that way without having they can't just do layoffs like that or the prof like the way they do the profit margins. I don't know. Like I just found that amazing because
Yeah.
it's like what's the cost of them making because those games I say it's the games they make. I said look they look expensive. They don't look all that cheap either. Um, what so what is it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they can't be paid like you can't just say like I mean you can say they get paid cheaper, but I was like they can't get paid breadcrumbs, right? Because I mean
I
it
still
seems
have
like
to
you
be able to
still have to do a
live.
lot of schooling. Yeah, you have to live, and you still have to do what you have to go through to learn that stuff. You still got to go to do things. They go to college, they have to start stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, you can't. They like, oh, they get paid minimum wage work making video games. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
that is like that's what I take.
Miyamoto, he only makes 30,000 a year, actually.
Yeah,
It's weird. Very wish I could say just
yeah,
odd. Just very sad.
yeah, yeah. It is messed up. The two biggest American companies are gone in video games. EA and Activision. Like third party companies.
Yeah.
They're they're gone. Like I mean EA it's not EA, it's the Arabs thing now. Like I mean like they're not like Activision is part of Microsoft now, so it's just Microsoft. But that's amazing. I would never thought that would happen. Or that if they were going to go, there's still another. Like, what's the huge third party company that were Epic?
Uh, I guess, but Epic doesn't seem too interested in acquiring anybody.
Oh no, I'm just saying that they're just no. I'm just saying they're third party, like just
As
third
far as like,
party
yeah,
companies in
competition.
general.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like Epic. I guess Steam.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
Steam,
Steam.
they don't
Yeah.
really, they don't make games. And Epic, I mean they do make. I mean they do Fortnite, and I don't know. Maybe they're done too. They just said fuck it. Because hell, what they're talking about, they talk about they having trouble with Fortnite making money and shit.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, like I can't think of no like huge third party company no more in the US.
It's because they don't exist. They just don't.
It's just
Even if you expand that
indies.
worldwide, we're talking, EA, we're talking Ubisoft, we're talking whatever THQ is owned by now. There's the Coke Media. But they dropped all their stuff basically. I guess you could at one point in time you could have put Square Enix in there, but they dropped all their Western developers, so they're not really, a big third party publisher anymore. And yeah, all of those people just don't exist in the same way anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just different. This is all a
Yeah.
little different. I don't like the outside people talk about the future of gaming, and let's just say that Sony didn't do the thing with the disc. I don't see how anybody thought things getting better though.
Yeah, no. I mean, the disc, and that's, I guess, to wrap this into another news story that I saw is basically Capcom saying that Sony's move to, digital only isn't really going to have that much effect on them. That to me just speaks to, once again, pointing to numbers indicate that from a consumer standpoint, from a normal consumer standpoint, this isn't really going to have much effect. People are probably already buying the majority of their copies of games digitally. Obviously, ownership still a problem. Not trying to dismiss that. What I am trying to point out is that we could put ownership protections on digital things.
Yes, you can.
And
That's
so at the end of the day, I don't know, outside of like people on the internet being big mad about it, that going disc only is going to have any real effects on the industry. For the projection that it was already headed in, right? Like this isn't changing the course that we were already headed down. There there are obviously some negatives to the non-physical things, and we're already seeing that in retail stores. If you walk through them, video games do not have the presence like they once did. And
Yeah, I talked to my friend Foot because he had bought MLB 25 for real cheap and physical, and I was asking like, how does it look? He said like at one Walmart, like it's like empty.
Yeah,
he says there's not a lot out there, but another Walmart it has a lot of stuff. It's like it's not consistent, but like I think it's just how how the I mean where people shop at, I guess, like it's probably just that's what it is. I should have asked him which one was like which Walmart had the most at. Was it the one that was in the nice area? It was the nice area or something. Yeah. But yeah, because I see the pictures online too. Because some people said like, man, it's dead in here, but then somebody showed like, oh no, my place is still full with physical stuff. And I was like, that's like, dude, you can't. Yeah, I can't just be like, oh, this is what it is here. Like, you have to get a census of multiple places, because like I think it was like Tone was saying, like, it was talking about oil. Like he said, man, oil was sold out here or something like that. And some persons showed like how where oil was all full in their section. But then when you show where they live, it's like how many people are have the cars and are using it to do it instead of one place. Hold on, Dad. It's like somebody knocking. Hey, Dad. Sure. I think somebody knocking at the door. Or making some pattering noise. Hold on real quick, Dad. Yep. Dad, stop at the door. Not that. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, so all right. Anything else? I don't think I see anything else.
No, that's all I saw for the week, Dominic. So we'll get into new releases here. Obviously, Beast of Reincarnation I mentioned earlier. That's out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and on Game Pass. Big Walk you mentioned earlier. This is basically what I think the genre has become called friend slop. Multiplayer online kind of gathering area where there's also puzzles and gameplay elements to it. And it seems like this is one of the best ones that has been recently. And I believe this is actually the developer of the Untitled Goose Game. So to me, that is a pedigree that speaks very largely about them. I'm definitely going to check some videos out. I haven't gotten a chance to yet. Part of me doesn't want to because it's like I'd love to experience, what some of these people are experiencing. But even if I'm like, hey Dominic, let's get on this game, that's two of us. We got it. Seems like it works better with a larger group,
with a bigger group, larger group.
So yeah.
So can you beat? So does it have you have to group up together, or do you beat people in the game?
I think you have to come in with the group. I don't know that they have matchmaking. I could be wrong about that. But I feel like a lot of these games are more about not about matchmaking, about bringing in that group because of the cooperation that's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's out on the PC, Nintendo Switch 2, and PS5. I believe I did hear some mention that the Switch 2 version is maybe not running the best. And then we have Marvel Tokon, Dominic, fighting Souls. That's out on the PC and PS5. Have you seen, what are reviews looking like for this game so far? Have you seen?
The reviews I have not seen yet. Okay. I have not seen reviews yet. I haven't.
Let's see. Metacritic right now is an 86 user score. And only a 4, after 4 available critics reviews, there's TBD. So I guess this is...
They couldn't review it till after the game came out? Was that a thing? Or was it like the netcode? Was it that good when it started?
I wonder if it's like we're a review in progress type thing, because they have a link to IGN, but it's just a TBD score. So let's see, what do they say here? There's a ton left to cover from the story mode that promises 10 plus hours original story that follows the various teams. See, now that, to me, that interests me. I didn't realize there was that much single player content necessarily. But
yeah, I didn't realize it either until like later. I was looking and I was like, darn, a lot more than I thought. So
yeah, but IGN's is a review so far. So yeah. All right, that is those are our video games for this week. Dominic, you got anything else for the people before we get out of here?
All right.
Thank you guys as always for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at SupaPod. SupaPod. SupaPod.com is the website. It has all of our previous podcasts as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as all of the audio places you can find podcasts, including places like iTunes, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. Until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.